Today we're going to look at multiples. A multiple is a number that is multiplied by a consecutive group of numbers. So, for example, the first multiple of 3 is 3, because 3 times 1 is 3. The second multiple of 3 is 6, because 3 times 2 is 6. The next multiple of 3 is 9, because 3 times 3 is 9. So you notice I'm multiplying first 3 times 1, then 3 times 2, then 3 times 3, then 3 times 4. So these are consecutive numbers. So if I do the same thing with 5, the first multiple of 5 is 5, the second multiple of 5 is 10, third multiple of 5 is 15, fourth multiple of 5 is 20. So that's how we find the multiple. Now let's say we want to find a common multiple. We call this the least common multiple, or LCM. LCM. So let's say we want to find least common multiple between 21 and 42. So the first multiple of 21 is 21. 21 times 1 is 2. The second multiple of 21 is 42, because 21 times 2 is 42. Now, the first multiple of 42 is 42. Once I see that I have a multiple that two numbers have, I can stop, because they share, or they have in common, the number 42 as a multiple. Now, this is important to know for when you're adding and subtracting fractions and you need to find a denominator. This is when you're going to use finding the least common multiple. We're not going to work with fractions today. We're just going to work on finding the least common multiple. Let's do some practice problems here. So let's find the least common multiple between 9 and 15. So 9 and 15. And I start out with the smaller number, because the smaller number is going to have to catch up to the bigger number. Think of it as a race where the numbers have to meet each other at some point. So the first multiple of 9 is 9. That's 9 times 1. The second multiple is 18. The third multiple is 27, because 9 times 3 is 27. The fourth multiple is 36. The fifth multiple is 45. So what I do, I write out usually the first 4 or 5 multiples, then of the smaller number, and then I go to the bigger number and write out the first 4 or 5 multiples. And if I see the multiple immediately, then I don't have to write anything extra. And you'll see that a little bit later. So the first multiple of 15 is 15. The next multiple of 15 is 30. The next multiple is 45. That's 15 times 3. So as soon as I see a common multiple, I stop. So the least common multiple between 9 and 15 is 45. Let's look at this one. Find the least common multiple between 18 and 3. So 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, boom. Like I just said a while ago, if I see the common multiple already just there, I don't have to write out the other multiples, because I already have one that the two numbers share. So the answer here is 18. Let's do this one. Find the least common multiple for 9 and 21. So what I'm going to do, you can actually do it also the reverse way. Like if you know your times tables, this is very easy. So I encourage you to master your times tables if you haven't done so already. So First multiple of 21 is 21. The next multiple of 21 is 42 because 21 times 2 is 42. The next multiple is going to be 63. Now, I know my 9 times tables. So because I know my 9 times table, I know that if I multiply out, when I get to the 7th multiple, it's going to be 63. So the least common multiple between 9 and 21 is 63. I'm going to do one more. Find the least common multiple between 4 and 14. So I have 4 and 14. So again, I could do it from using the larger number. So the first multiple of 14 is 14. The next multiple is 28. So immediately I see that this number, 4, when I write it out, the first common multiple they're going to have is 28. So the least common multiple between 14 and 4 is 28. Now this is how you find the least common multiple, and I will attach some resources to the video that you can use to help you do these problems effectively.